I had a bus company up here in Maine, purchased it in January. And prior to that, I got to know both Kevin and Ricardo back when I was really into multifamily and investing in multifamily. I'm interested in acquiring more businesses and meeting those that are really in the game and, developing more systems, procedures for my business that will allow me to make it more efficient and make it so I'm not the guy for everything.
It frees up so much time and it gives you so much more space to work on what I'll say is your genius, whatever that is. For most of us, that's vision, that's making deals, that's growing the business, getting focused on that and not the day-to-day stuff. If you can run a business successfully and you're not there, you got to have a phenomenal setup. And guys should almost think about doing that on a level, even of course, when most of us are in the state and we're in the area, but it forces you to think very different.
I think the big success factor is not so much in equity unless the person is motivated by money and ownership. But if the person is motivated by pride and purpose, which is going to sound a little crazy, there are some people out there, guys, that are. My philosophy is I'm nose in, hands out. My nose is in the cookie jar. I'm looking, I'm smelling, I'm asking a lot of questions, but I'm trying not to make a lot of those decisions.
You need to get through these things.
Yes, 100%. And again, there's a little bit of military there, but Mike knows the deal and I know the deal too. I want to respect people's time. If I tell them we're having a 20-minute meeting, we should not be going over that 20-minute meeting.
I think that a lot of times, especially visionaries and CEOs, they get so focused in on what this one specific objective is, they kind of forget that there's an entire people element to it. And your people are going to hear you completely differently in how you speak. You can understand what's most important to them and you can almost speak back to them in that language. Some people really want recognition. Some people are really craving clarity. A lot of people really want to have control. Then you have some people who are really invested in your vision and they really want something that's going to focus on like a long-lasting relationship. And when you use inclusive language like that, which is more we instead of you get better buy-ins because they feel like that problem belongs to everyone and not just them. A lot of times, especially if you guys are going into new organizations or you're buying companies, you're taking on ownership of everyone else that was in the organization. And in that, you get a lot of resistance often around why are we changing this? This has always been done this way. We've been fine doing it like this. Those individuals really want trust and space to prove themselves. And that you can really kind of delegate kind of what Ricardo was saying. You can give them all these things and then just do check-ins. So like, this is what I want to see on Friday. When I see a level 3 person coming into an organization, it's usually like a big stop sign for me, or a yield sign at the very least. These types of people are really great to have in your organization. And also, you guys know that's kind of a unicorn, having a person come into your organization that's already focused on level 5. Because if they can be level 5, why would they be doing it in your organization? Unless there's a perk that is important to them that's not tied to money. Communication is really your biggest issue when it comes to all of the little problems that you have.
Here's one thing I learned. I used to ask people and I used to assume everybody wanted more. They want more money. They want more responsibility. They want to move up. But the truth is a lot of people do not want to do that. So one thing I learned is I talk to different members on my team all the time, and I pretty much try to figure out who I think can grow more. Some guys do not like to manage other guys. They do not like to tell you guys come late. They do not like to tell you guys. They're worried about friendships and worried about not being, I don't know, a rat or whatever. Some guys don't give a shit because they care about making more money for their family, putting their kids in private schools and everything. What's one thing at the company you were at that needed to be fixed? You saw it need to be fixed. And then how did you go about fixing that and implementing it? Bullshitters will be super vague about it. They'll say things like, oh, I grew the business from 1 million in sales to 5 million and I had 20 sales guys. They'll just say anything and there's nothing specific about them.
We're all commercial, so it's a lot of relationship building in the past. So for those that don't know, I bought this company in January. So there's been zero follow-up. There's been zero checking in on customers. Hey, how are we doing? How can we do better? How can we improve the customer experience?
They got to be okay with just talking to people and connecting with them just for no reason and be able to create that rapport really quickly.
What I did in January was, this was all done manually before. It took about a half hour to generate a quote in the past. I contracted with a quote management system.
He's actually calling those people, answering questions, building rapport. And we're finding people are calling in asking for him specifically. It's not an expense, it's an investment. They'll make you more money. I'm talking about time, but really, guys, I'm talking about brain space too. This is where you really make the jumps.
I have found
Yeah.
that when I try and fit people in because they have additional time or they could probably fit in because they have a knowledge here, it does not go well.
My thought of genius is going out there and building the relationships and being the front man, being the person talking to all those people I need to be talking to.
I'm big on borrowed belief. Once you sit down and break bread with someone and then you leave and you're like, I'm kind of friends with this guy. I got his phone number and he's done something huge. It becomes way more attainable.